Have you ever caught yourself in the mirror and thought, when did all of this happen? Maybe it's the fine lines that seem to deepen overnight, or the way your skin doesn't bounce back like it used to. Aging has a sneaky way of making us feel like it's happening too fast, and sometimes we wish we could just hit a pause button. But what if I told you there are tiny, almost invisible habits, what I like to call micro-habits, that can actually slow down, and in some cases, even reverse the look of aging? Not by turning back the clock 20 years, but by helping you look brighter, fresher, and more full of life right now. The good news is these little changes don't require expensive creams or complicated routines. They're simple things you can add into your day, and with time, they create a powerful effect. Sometimes it's not the big dramatic changes that keep us feeling youthful, but the small, consistent ones that build up over time. And that's what I want to share with you today. Let's start with something that sounds so simple you might roll your eyes at first: drinking more water. I know, you've heard it before. But stay with me for a moment, because the truth is, dehydration is one of the sneakiest things that makes us look older than we are. Think about a grape compared to a raisin. A grape is plump and full of life, while a raisin is shriveled because it's dried out. Our skin works in a similar way. When we're not getting enough water, our skin loses that natural fullness, those fine lines stand out more, and our overall glow just fades. Now here's the thing, after 60, our sense of thirst isn't as strong as it once was. That means your body may need water even if you don't feel thirsty. A micro-habit you can try is simply keeping a small glass or bottle of water nearby, and taking a sip every time you pass by. Not a full glass, not a challenge, just a sip. Over the course of a day, those sips add up, and your body quietly thanks you by making your skin look fresher, your joints move more easily, and even your energy levels rise. It's one of the simplest ways to soften the look of aging without spending a dime. Another tiny habit that makes a huge difference is standing up and stretching for just a minute every hour. You might be thinking, how does stretching have anything to do with looking younger? But let me explain. Poor posture is one of the biggest giveaways of age. When our shoulders slump forward or our back curves too much, it not only makes us look older, but it can also make us feel older because our body becomes stiff and tired. A 1-minute stretch, rolling your shoulders back, lifting your arms, straightening your spine, doesn't just help your posture. It increases circulation, which means more oxygen flows to your skin. And that oxygen gives your face a healthier color, almost like you just came back from a refreshing walk. Imagine this: instead of sitting for hours and feeling stiff, you give yourself these little breaks to breathe deeply and stretch. It's like pressing the reset button on your body multiple times a day. And those small resets add up to a more youthful presence that others notice, even if they can't quite put their finger on what's changed. Now let's talk about something that doesn't come in a bottle or a cream, but it might just be one of the strongest anti-aging secrets out there: smiling. Yes, smiling. Think about the people you know who seem to never age. Chances are, they have a light in their eyes and a smile that softens their whole face. A smile doesn't just lift the corners of your mouth, it lifts your entire energy. When you smile, your brain releases chemicals like endorphins that make you feel better inside, and that feeling shows on the outside. Some people avoid smiling because they worry about laugh lines. But here's the truth: lines from smiling aren't the kind that make you look old. In fact, they make you look warm, approachable, and full of life. Compare that to a frown, which pulls the face downward and deepens lines in a way that really does age us. A micro-habit you can practice is simply smiling at yourself in the mirror each morning. It might sound silly, but it sets the tone for your whole day. And when you carry that smile into your interactions, with family, with neighbors, even with strangers, you not only look younger, you spread an energy that makes you unforgettable. What I love about these first few habits is how gentle they are. There's no pressure, no giant change to your routine. Just small shifts: sip water, stretch a little, smile more often. Each one on its own seems almost too simple, but together, they create a ripple effect that helps your body, your skin, and your spirit feel renewed. And the best part is, these aren't things you have to wait months to notice. Within days or weeks, you'll start to feel lighter, brighter, and more in control of how you age. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Have you noticed how sometimes the little things we do without thinking can add up to big results over time? It's the same with these micro habits. They don't look like much on their own, but when practiced consistently, they can roll back years off your appearance and, more importantly, your energy. We've already begun exploring some of these simple yet powerful actions, and now, let's move a little deeper into the kinds of daily shifts that can change how you feel and how others see you. One of the most underestimated habits is something you do before you even leave your bedroom in the morning: stretching. I'm not talking about an intense yoga routine or anything that leaves you out of breath. I mean those gentle, easy stretches that loosen up your shoulders, lengthen your spine, and wake up your circulation. Think about how cats or dogs behave after a nap. They always take a moment to stretch. It's their natural way of telling the body, "Wake up, it's time to move." For us, doing just a few minutes of stretching each morning signals to the body that it's time to get blood flowing, joints lubricated, and posture aligned. Over time, this not only improves mobility but also makes you look more upright, confident, and vibrant. A slouched back can add years to your appearance, but standing tall can shave them right off. Now, stretching is about the body, but let's talk about another tiny action that targets the mind: practicing gratitude. You might wonder, how can simply thinking about what I'm thankful for make me look younger? Well, here's the interesting part: stress ages us faster than almost anything else. It affects the skin, the hair, even the sparkle in our eyes. Gratitude, on the other hand, softens stress. When you take just a minute or two each day to mentally list the things you're grateful for, your nervous system calms down, and your body shifts out of fight or flight mode. People who do this often find themselves smiling more, feeling lighter, and even radiating a kind of glow that no expensive cream can match. Imagine the difference between a face type with worry and one that carries an easy, peaceful smile. That's the subtle but powerful impact of a daily gratitude habit. Here's another micro habit that seems so simple but makes a world of difference: drinking water before coffee. I know, many of us love starting the day with that warm cup of coffee or tea. It's comforting, it's familiar. But when you give your body a glass of water first, you're replenishing what it lost overnight and waking up your cells in the best possible way. Dehydration is sneaky. It doesn't just make you feel tired, it also shows up as dull, sagging skin and fine lines that look deeper than they really are. Just one glass of water before your morning beverage hydrates your body, supports digestion, and primes your energy. Over weeks and months, this small change creates a clearer complexion and more vitality, the kind of difference that people notice without quite knowing what's changed. And speaking of subtle changes that transform how you're perceived, let's touch on the power of facial expressions. There's a saying that after a certain age, we're responsible for the face we show the world. Think about it: every frown, every smile, every raised eyebrow leaves little imprints on our features. While we can't control everything, we can choose to soften the lines that form from worry and invite more of the ones that come from joy. A micro habit here is simply reminding yourself, a few times a day, to relax the muscles in your face. You might even take a slow breath and let your jaw unclench, your forehead smooth out, and your eyes soften. This habit not only makes you appear calmer and more approachable, but over time it slows the deepening of those worry lines that often make us look older than we feel inside. I want to share a little story here. A friend of mine in her late 60s once told me that she started practicing this habit after realizing her face often looked tense even when she was perfectly fine inside. She began pausing while reading, watching TV, or even cooking, just to relax her face. After a few months, people began telling her she looked more rested, even though she hadn't changed her skincare routine or diet. She laughed and said, "Turns out my best beauty secret was just learning how to stop frowning all the time." That's the kind of transformation we're talking about, not dramatic, not costly, but deeply noticeable. So, we've looked at habits that touch the body, the mind, and even how you express yourself to the world. Together, they create an impression of youthfulness that's not fake or forced, but natural and lasting. And the best part? None of these require big sacrifices. They're about gentle awareness, small actions, and daily choices that compound beautifully over time. Now, let's keep building on this momentum. We've seen how posture, gratitude, hydration, and even the way we hold our faces can affect how youthful we feel and appear. But there are still a couple more micro-habits that work almost like magic, ones that add an invisible spark to your presence and make others think there's something so lively about them. It's fascinating how small shifts can create such powerful ripples in how we look and feel. By now, you've probably noticed that these micro-habits aren't about spending hours at the gym, following strict diets, or investing in pricey treatments. They're about gentle tweaks to daily living that give your body and spirit the environment they need to stay youthful. And there are still two more habits that complete the picture, ones that truly add that spark of vitality people notice the moment you walk into a room. One of the most overlooked but powerful micro-habits is spending just a few minutes each day outside in natural light. Not a full hike, not a long stroll unless you want to, just 10 or 15 minutes with the sun touching your skin, the breeze brushing your face, the sounds of the world reminding you that life is bigger than any one moment of stress. You see, natural light resets your body's internal clock, which helps regulate sleep, and we all know good sleep is the ultimate anti-aging remedy. It also boosts vitamin D production, which keeps bones strong, muscles steady, and mood uplifted. Think of it like charging your internal battery, just standing on the porch, tending to a plant, or sitting by the window with the sunlight streaming in. Over time, this habit brightens not just your complexion, but your entire aura. People can sense when someone feels connected to life, and nothing does that more simply than a daily dose of natural light. Now, the final micro-habit is perhaps the most enjoyable of them all, intentional laughter. We often think of laughter as something that just happens in response to something funny, but what if I told you that choosing to invite more laughter into your day can actually turn back the clock? Laughter reduces stress hormones, increases circulation, and releases endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Have you ever noticed how someone's whole face lights up when they laugh? The eyes sparkle, the skin flushes with healthy color, and the lines on their face soften instead of harden. That's because laughter relaxes the muscles and bathes the body in relaxation chemistry. And the best part? You don't have to wait for something hilarious to come along. You can build this micro-habit by intentionally watching a funny video, reminiscing with an old friend about silly memories, or even practicing laughter exercises that feel awkward at first but quickly become real. I once met a woman in her 70s who joined a laughter yoga group. At first, she thought it was ridiculous, but after a few sessions, she noticed her cheeks looking rosier, her shoulders less tense, and her mood soaring. She said, "I realized I had stopped laughing years ago without noticing, and when I got it back, I felt 10 years younger." That's the transformative power of this tiny but mighty habit. So, let's pause for a moment and take this in. We've explored 6 simple actions: standing tall through gentle stretching, softening your stress with gratitude, hydrating before your morning coffee, relaxing your facial muscles, stepping into natural light, and choosing laughter. None of these require extra money, complicated routines, or strict discipline. They're woven into the rhythms of everyday life. They're things you can start this very moment, and with each passing day, they quietly reshape how you look, how you feel, and how others experience your presence. What I find most encouraging is that these micro-habits remind us of something vital. Youthfulness isn't about turning back the clock, it's about living fully in the moment we're in. When you feel light, hydrated, grateful, relaxed, connected, and joyful, your appearance naturally reflects that. It's not about chasing after lost time, but about embracing the years you have now with a kind of glow that's irresistible. I want you to imagine something with me. Picture yourself walking into a room 6 months from now, after practicing even a few of these micro-habits. You carry yourself with ease, your skin looks brighter, your eyes more alive. Friends or family might say, "Wow, you look wonderful, what's your secret?" And the beauty is, your secret isn't hidden in a bottle or locked away in some distant routine. It's simply in the way you've chosen to live a little more intentionally, a little more joyfully, every single day. And here's the truth, you deserve that. You deserve to look in the mirror and see not just the years behind you, but the vitality and radiance that's still yours to claim. Age may be a number, but how you carry it is entirely up to you. Each of these micro-habits is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, adding color, light, and warmth. Taken together, they create a picture of a person who is alive, vibrant, and still very much in the game. So as you go forward from here, I encourage you to pick one or two of these habits that feel easiest to start with. Maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's drinking water before coffee, or maybe it's simply choosing to laugh more often. Start small, start today, and watch how these little moments of intention build into something extraordinary. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. What's one micro-habit you already practice that makes you feel younger? Or which of these 6 are you most excited to try? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might inspire someone else who needs that little spark of motivation. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more practical, uplifting tips to help you live your best years with energy and confidence. Together, we can create a community where age is not something to fear, but something to celebrate. Here's to you, to the life you've lived, and to the radiance still ahead. Remember, youthfulness isn't lost, it's lived, one small habit at a time.